Welcome back, students. This dissection is for the formation of the rectus sheath. Okay, we have seen that the muscle, that is the rectus abdominis muscle, which is a vertical muscle, is completely covered by the aponeurosis of the three abdominal muscles: external oblique abdominis, the internal oblique, and transversus abdominis muscle that forms the rectus sheath. But this rectus sheath is formed and has the different layers throughout its course. For the rectus sheath, throughout its course, it is entirely covered by the external oblique abdominis aponeurosis. But then it is the posterior layer of the external this rectus muscle, rectus abdominis muscle, it rests directly onto the costal cartilages. Right from the 7th, 6th and 5th costal cartilage, it is directly resting here. That means its posterior relations are because of the costal cartilage at the anterior aspect. But anteriorly it is covered by the aponeurosis of the external oblique abdominis. Beyond this costal margin, see this? I will show you this. This is the 7th costal cartilage. Beyond this, and here was the position of the G.P process. Beyond this, then this muscle, that is the rectus abdominis, is then it is resting onto the aponeurosis. See this aponeurosis, which is formed by the aponeurosis, that is the posterior layer of the internal oblique muscle and that of the transversus abdominis. So the posterior layer of the internal oblique and the transversus abdominis, they are in posterior relation to this rectus abdominis muscle till posteriorly we reach somewhere below the umbilicus or sometime between the umbilicus and the pubic symphysis. These layers, they continue. But then there is a discontinuity of these two layers, that is the posterior layer of the internal oblique and transversus abdominis. They will not form the posterior layer. That means the muscle will directly lie onto the fascia transversalis. This yellow color structure which you are seeing is the fascia transversalis, on which this internal epigastric artery is also lying. This is that line which is called as the arcuate line, beyond which this fascia will not form the posterior sheath for the rectus abdominis muscle. But on anterior side, as we will see, I told you that up to the costal margin, it is that of the only the aponeurosis of the external oblique abdominis is there, and then beyond this, this is formed by, anterior layer is formed by the external oblique abdominis and the posterior anterior lamina of the internal oblique. Both they fuse and they form right from costal margin up to this arcuate line. Beyond this arcuate line, all the three lamina, that means including the internal, including the transversus, and then external, all three they come and they only cover the rectus abdominis muscle beyond the arcuate line anteriorly. All the three aponeurosis, they come anteriorly till the pubic symphysis, pubic tubercle and pubic crest. So this rectus sheath is weak in its lower part, where sheath is formed by the aponeurotic tendon and the muscle is directly lying onto the fascia transversalis. Otherwise, this is a muscle, that abdominis muscle, is very well protected by the rectus sheath. The rectus sheath, because enclosing this muscle into a sheath, it becomes very powerful and it prevents, as I told you, it is for the raising the intra-abdominal pressure, as well as it stops the bowing of the or excessive flexion of the abdomen or the trunk. This completes the rectus sheath. Thank you very much for watching.